What's going on? Welcome back to the Auto Answer Man YouTube channel. Today, we're quieting down the Porsche. I know you guys haven't seen this car yet. You've probably seen a little bit of the Corvette, Camaro, truck, things like that. But I have a 1983 911 SC, and it has the world's loudest exhaust on it. So we're going to put this vibrant, super quiet muffler on it, and hopefully quiet it down a little bit. The car's starting to bother the neighbors. And I do care a little bit. So follow along as I put this thing together with a quieter muffler. So I recently built an exhaust system for it. I didn't record any of that. And then found out kind of while I was doing that the catalytic converter was completely shot. So I had to get a whole new what do you call that? Cross pipe, down pipe, cat delete. So right now the Porsche has the headers come down. They go into this cat delete, which has that bubble there, but that bubble, there's no muffler there. There's nothing. And then the piping here comes right out the tip. So it's extremely loud. My brother sent me this. This is a vibrant, what do you call it? Super quiet, straight through muffler. But he had it on his truck, and he said it made a pretty big difference. So what I'm going to do, since it's air cooled and everything, when I start it up, have it start warming up while I move the truck out of the way and get things kind of loaded in the car, and then head over to his house to weld this up. That's kind of a high idle. Yeah, so starting to get a little heat in it. Oil volume is coming up. Still idling around 1100. So yeah, I'm going to cruise this over to a shop. My CTSV is over there, so we'll have to move that, and we should be able to pull this up on the rack and pull the exhaust off. They sound good, but they're not. You're not going to go out and win races. It's more of a circuit car. This would be a good race for a Miata. In 1983, these had, I believe this is 180 horsepower, and this one's essentially stock besides the muffler. The main reason I got into all that is because the car was so quiet, all you could hear is the big fan. You couldn't really hear the, he says it's loud. Yeah, it is loud. That's why I'm heading to get a muffler on it. But, yeah, fun to have interactions like that. I have a lot of interactions like that in this car. And it's a certain group. It's usually young kids. Like kids like 10-year-olds, or a older man, some guy's in his 60s, 70s years old, and they see the old air-cooled Porsche and they like that. But yeah, like I was saying, I have the reason I got into even changing the muffler is because it's air-cooled. The fan makes such a loud whirling noise that you really can't hear the motor. So I was like, okay, I'm going to change this muffler out. And then I realized the cat had the problem. It was completely coming apart, blowing out of the exhaust and stuff. So that's why I ended up starting to change stuff out. But now the car's so loud that, even that guy, he's plugging his ears, he says, like, it's really loud, I can imagine what it's like for the people behind it. I'm still in the car, and I'm sure you guys can still hear me. But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's a nice road, windy, kind of blind corners though, so I never drive too fast through here. Rough road though. The red got me. Unmarked. There goes another sheriff. I don't know if you can see that guy. I don't know if I'd be able to talk my way out of the car being so loud, but I can show I have a muffler under the bonnet that I'm going to install. So if they got me on being loud, maybe they're like, all right, go fix it, So one thing is, I'm into drag racing. I like drag racing. That's why I have the Corvette and the Camaro and stuff. A lot of people wonder, well, how fast is that thing? Can it haul ass? So I'll do a little pull right here. Sure, but just so you can hear it, I guess. It's got to be the loudest Porsche in the United States. It's so loud. Probably doesn't pick it up on camera good. Probably just distorts the microphone. But it's very, very loud. Hopefully this muffler's enough. I don't mind it being loud, but it needs to be a tone that doesn't just hurt people's ears. The fun part about this car is it being so light. These cars are around 2,500 pounds. So they just, I don't know, they handle good. They just feel very light on their feet. They don't feel overpowered.
second you're going really fast. This, because it has short gears, tight ratio transmission, essentially, you run through the gears, you're in the high RPMs, but you're really not going that fast. And then the car just handles really good. It's very responsive, even being stock suspension and old suspension. I'm not sure, when the last time any of that stuff was replaced. The car has had a restoration. Probably about 80% of it has been restored. About 13,000 miles ago. So the motor, 13,000 miles ago. But things like the shocks, they look too old for 13,000 miles. If they're original, they have 273,000 miles. So, just something to, I guess, take note of. When I feel the car out, it doesn't feel like it has loose bushings. Suspension does feel soft, especially to the Corvette, which is a Z06. Has an even tighter suspension. Feels much more stable at speed than this does. But almost the soft suspension, the body roll is part of the character and the fun of this car. Yeah, it's definitely a way different experience. I haven't had a car like this before. I've had a lot of cars throughout my life, but they've all had different, I guess, experiences. But this one is much different. Also, being a rear engine, you feel the weight in the rear of the car. You don't feel that kind of weight up front. So when you go into a corner, you do feel that rear end kind of transfer a little bit. Not necessarily like it slides, but you feel it roll over on the tires because the transmission and engine are back even behind the rear tires. So it has all that weight. The front end is very light. Even going down the highway, if you're going fast, it feels light. Not that it's lifting, but it feels light, kind of light in the steering and stuff. So we're almost to a shop. So this is the CTSV, and it's been parked over here for a while because I don't have good parking at my house. It's been kind of in and out of the shop as my dad uses the lift, but look how dirty it is. I'm hoping the battery's not dead. We're about to find out. Interior lights are on. Oh, yep, my dad's been driving it. Run this seat back a little bit. What do you think the odds are it will start? Sitting, for some reason it I don't know, maybe doesn't build oil pressure right away. The sensor doesn't see it right away. It seems like it fires up and I get oil pressure right away on the sensor. So
Porsche up on the lift. This is why this thing is so loud. That's my exhaust system. So things start to add up, obviously. So I think the goal is, while it's all on there, take the muffler and line it up with this kind of bulged area and see if I can just fit it in there. Just before the O2 sensor, before this pipe. So, I'm thinking something like this. This little muffler is unbelievably heavy. So if I could squeeze it, you know, if you look, kind of between those two. So maybe I'll put it forward a little bit. Well, I need something to weld onto, so probably cut there. And then cut there. So I think that's the goal. Update time. I'm not having a good time. Got the muffler in there. Very hard to hold this with one hand and tack it up in the car. So things are starting to turn into Swiss cheese. Not perfectly lined up, not how I like it, but when it's off the car, I'll do better. Got this Johnny here. This actually fits inside the pipe, so it gives me some room to move and twist and do some stuff, but I think we're gonna have it about there. Tipped up a little bit of upward angle. Don't want to hit anything. Good space. Rotate, spin. Okay. All right, now someone can hold this so I can tack it. But I got that muffler straight and level. So, yeah, that's where we're at right now. Once I get this tacked in place, then I'll pull the whole system off the car and just weld it up carefully. Obviously you don't want things to move when you start welding. Stainless is notorious for moving a lot, so I'll kind of stitch around, little weld here, little weld over here, up there, down there, you know, slowly stitch it together so hopefully it doesn't move too much and it still fits once I put it back on the car. So with the way everything can kind of move because the bolts, I'm going to use that to hopefully position it where I want it before it's all tight. Hopefully. We'll see. I'm going to start with the rear bolts, see what happens. All right, so that's how it sits. The only thing, I don't know if it will matter, is the clearance here. It's a bit tight, but I think it'll be okay. A lot of airflow blowing, but it is less than ½ an inch. I think I'll drive it and pull over and feel. If that's the case, then I don't know. There's more room on this side, but yeah. All right, let's lower it down here. Better, but it's still loud. Probably doesn't help us inside the shop either. Alright, let me let it warm up and pull it out. Well, this is what it sounds like. A bit loud, but not too loud. This is it warmed up too, so rev for you. The new muffler. Honestly, to my ear, it sounds about the same. Outside the car, I noticed the tone's deeper. It doesn't have such a sharp pitch, like almost ear-piercing pitch. But it did not quiet the car down very much, to be honest. I'm probably going to run it. I feel like it's at that level where it's tolerable and it's not super inconsiderate. You know, so think of like a Honda Civic with a muffler. Kind of loud, but you know, enough where it's like, you know, it's still tolerable. Let you hear it. About this car is the pedals are very far away from each other, so heel towing, it's with stock pedals is not really an option unless you have some long toes or something. right, so I know this is the first look at the Porsche. Let me know if you want to see more on this car, if you have questions about it. I don't have a lot in store on what I'm planning on doing. I've already fixed a lot of stuff on it. I just did the lifters. You know, you have to adjust all the valves and lifters every 15,000 miles on it. Next video, I'm actually grabbing the Vet, and I am going to try to do some 8th mile hits. We'll see how the traction is. Basically to race my brother over Draggy. He lives out in Tennessee. He has the 72 Ford Courier, also on this channel, and he's done quite a bit with that thing. He's even swapped a C4 rear end and differential independent system in the rear of his truck. So he ran a 8:35 at 94 miles an hour. I believe I should easily have him covered, but that's the next video. I'm gonna put that up next week and see if we could try to beat him. Anyways, thanks for watching the Auto Answer Man YouTube channel, and I'll see you later.